Chelsea Green is revealing some major goals for herself, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out the latest for Jey, Damian Priest, and much more. Starting things off with more proof and evidence for some changes that are coming soon to the Judgment Day that we've been discussing in recent weeks. And this is the idea of original members, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, slowly getting pushed out the back door and removed from the group. This direction doesn't appear to be any secret at all. If you've been paying close attention to the Judgment Day storyline, especially over the last 2 to 3 months, chances are you've definitely picked up on these story hints. Despite the brutal things Liv Morgan did to Rhea Ripley, the group did not stay loyal to Rhea, and instead became super close and friendly with Liv Morgan, the same woman who took out Rhea in the first place. The only person that remained loyal to Rhea Ripley was her longtime friend Damian Priest. And it's fascinating because just a few months back, it looked like Damian and Rhea were about to go to war with each other over the leadership of the Judgment Day, but now they're really the only ones that have each other's back against the rest of the Judgment Day. It's really Damian and Rhea versus the entirety of the Judgment Day, plus Liv Morgan possibly joining the new Judgment Day as well. So it's really looking like within the next few weeks, it'll be the end of an era with both original Judgment Day members being removed from the group, and Finn most likely taking over the leadership duties. And they continue to tease this story direction even at recent live event shows. Live event shows are known for their high levels of fun and entertaining matches, but obviously not a lot of storyline advancements take place at these shows because they're not televised and not a part of the main programming. But at one of these recent shows, Damian Priest went over to Jey to lift him off the floor, give him a handshake, and even give him a yeet salute, which is once again something you will not see any top heel do. So Damian Priest is even getting more friendly and respectful towards his opponents, all clear signs that his time in the Judgment Day is coming to an end and he's about to be a solo babyface. And this character transition should be complete at least before SummerSlam or even after it. It'll make a lot of sense for Damian Priest to fully convert to a babyface ahead of his title match with Gunther, so that the match will be a clear-cut heel Gunther against a freshly turned babyface Damian Priest. Damian is already half-turned, so if he really turns before SummerSlam, the entire crowd could be behind him during that title defense against Gunther. And that's another very interesting element not to forget about. The main storyline of Damian's entire title reign is that he can't successfully defend the title on his own. This is the narrative that the company has established with his reign. Literally ever since Damian Priest first won the title, every single title defense from him has involved some sort of interference, controversy, or other outside involvement. So it appears that they're setting up SummerSlam to be Damian Priest's first title defense that potentially doesn't feature any outside interference. It's a perfect time and place for Damian Priest to prove the doubters wrong and pick up the first clean title defense of his entire reign so far, especially over the King of the Ring Gunther. Picking up that clean win will sort of feel like a rebirth to Damian's title reign as he now enters the babyface era of his reign. And this narrative is something that the company wants the audience to remember, because they even had Damian Priest cut an entire promo talking about the constant outside interference in his title matches. Damian said that outside interference in title matches isn't something that's exclusive to him. He showed footage of several other recent champions that all had a lot of outside interference in their matches. So Damian has a lot going on right now with the Judgment Day falling apart, Rhea Ripley returning, but it looks like the main few stories for himself at the moment is his babyface turn and proving himself to everyone with a clean title defense. SummerSlam will be the ideal spot for that to take place, but also considering the rocky status of the Judgment Day right now, it's possible that the SummerSlam World title match will still have outside interference, but instead of helping Damian. The interference could potentially hurt him this time around and be the reason why he loses the title. Maybe that's the big twist to that ongoing narrative. And it wouldn't be a shocker either if Finn Balor is the one to officially declare that Damian Priest is no longer in the Judgment Day by screwing him out of the world title against Gunther. Something along those lines seems very likely because it'll build that empathy for Damian, while making Finn look extremely evil. Very likewise story for Rhea Ripley as well. Her time in the group has come to an end, so she'll likely have a similar exit to Damian. So it'll be a very interesting next couple of weeks for Damian and Rhea, as everyone expects them to no longer be a part of the group. Chelsea Green recently spoke with Rock 95 Radio, and she opened up about what it was like being away from her husband Matt Cardona. She had this to say, quote, "It's very hard, but I also feel like just marriage is hard. We have different problems than two people who work desk jobs have, but at the end of the day, if you want to make something work, you'll always make it work. A lot of people don't realize for most of our careers, we were totally separate. I was all over the place on the indies and at TNA, and he was always at WWE. So for the first 4 years of our relationship, that's what we were used to." End quote. So Chelsea revealed their big goal right there. A lot of fans have been wanting to see Matt Cardona return to the company, so having that return take place alongside Chelsea Green would be very entertaining. Chelsea Green already has an amazing character going of always being upset, always feeling like everyone is out to get her, so her eventually bringing her husband to help her out with some of the issues does make sense and would be fun to see. As far as things go with Chelsea Green in current day, she's reportedly receiving nothing but high praise for her recent work, especially for her perfect fall at Money in the Bank. But hopefully Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green is a pairing we see on television again down the line. Jey has been on his own on this singles run for just about a year now. And despite there not being any singles titles won during that time, you can still argue that his singles run has been very successful in so many different ways. His connection with the fans grew even more. He's been a top merchandise seller for several months and always puts on great performances. And with him even being the poster star for the recent Money in the Bank event, fans wondered if there was a small shot that Jey could even win the contract, but obviously that didn't happen. Jey's father, Rikishi, took to his podcast to call out the usage of his son Jey. He explained that he's not trying to say Jey deserves a free pass to the top, but that the numbers don't lie. He said that the merchandise numbers Jey is bringing in is amazing, how he doesn't have a bad track record and how he isn't a liability, so he doesn't understand why the company hasn't pulled the trigger with Jey up until this point. And Rikishi may be onto something there. Jey has been a constant top merchandise seller for a majority of 2024 and always brings the crowds to life every week, so it's a good question to ask and wonder about why hasn't that been capitalized on quite yet. So hopefully Jey has a singles title on the way for him in the future. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you have enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.